Finn was in the midst of his shift when he received the horrifying and devastating news about his family. Somehow, Sophie, Finn's little sister, had managed to survive the bloodbath from the previous night. It seemed that as soon as she heard the screams, she ran upstairs and hid in her closet. Medical staff worked to help Sophie cope with her mental trauma, and Finn stood by her side, holding her hand throughout.
I'm here now. I won't let anything happen to you.
He reassured his sister as he held her tightly. After Sophie was taken to the hospital for additional checkups, Finn stepped into the house. The living room and walls were drenched in blood. His father and mother lay lifeless on the floor, their heads missing. Finn couldn't grasp what kind of person could commit such a gruesome act. The analysis indicated that the wounds were likely inflicted by some kind of animal with large teeth. Nothing seemed to make sense. The police discovered bloody footprints outside the house, leading south toward the town and then into the woods. Several eyewitnesses claimed to have seen a man wearing a pumpkin head with red paint splatter slowly walking into the woods. However, given that it was Halloween, not many paid it any mind. The news quickly spread throughout the town, leaving everyone on edge. To prevent public panic, certain details, such as the monstrous attack, were withheld. As usual, the Mayor Everton and the town council were reluctant to halt the Halloween festivities because of this. Carson Turner, the head of the town's police, had always treated Finn as his own son.
Son, we will find who did this, I promise.
Tracking the bloody footprints within the woods was challenging, but a few police teams started their search of the eerie forest from different directions in pursuit of the killer. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a chilling atmosphere engulfed the entire town, intensified by the mysterious fog. Finn, Carson, and Bill stumbled upon the deep, muddy footprints on the far side of the woods, close to the Jones farms.
Chief, look at these footprints, the size and depth. This guy must be incredibly strong.
Yeah, I agree. It's best to call for backup, Chief. We don't know what we're dealing with here.
Chief Carson handed the walkie-talkie to see if any of the search party was nearby, but for a strange reason, it simply didn't work. The cell phones were affected as well. Inexplicably, there were no signals around the farm. The moon began to cast its eerie glow on the dark, spooky night. The creepy fog cloaked the entire woods and the farm, reducing visibility to just a few feet. The chief and the other two cautiously made their way to the farmhouse along the dirt road in the heart of the farm. As they approached the farmhouse, an unsettling odor filled the area, akin to that of a decaying human corpse.
What's that smell? Something's dead here, maybe an animal.
But then, they saw the rotten, headless body sprawled in the middle of the road. Mr. Jones's lifeless body lay on the dirt road, covered in blood, much like Finn's family. The next moment, they heard the unsettling noise of a pumpkin being carved coming from behind. A sudden chill coursed through everyone as they heard the heavy footsteps approaching. Carson swiftly turned on the flashlight, and what they saw left them frozen in place. A towering figure, standing at 7 feet tall, donned a massive pumpkin as a head. It peered at them with malevolent intent in its eyes. The chief, without a second thought, raised his pistol and fired at the creature. Finn and Bill stood behind him, paralyzed by the horrifying sight before them. The pumpkin-headed figure didn't even flinch. It was as if the bullets meant nothing.
Boys, run!
It looked at Carson, smiled, and leapt towards him. The next second, Carson's dying screams shattered the peaceful silence of the farm. There was no hope for Carson. The monstrous creature had encircled him, tearing and devouring him as if he were a delicious dinner. The boys trembled as they tried to escape from the bloodthirsty monster. But then Bill stumbled on the road, his legs ensnared by the pumpkin vines. In the corner of his eye, Finn witnessed the horrifying scene and immediately turned back to help Bill. However, it was too late. The pumpkin man stood right next to Bill, a malevolent smile on its face. In the next moment, its dark shadow shrouded Bill, and his screams echoed through Finn's ears. Finn couldn't believe what was happening. He felt disoriented, as if everything was spinning around him. He began sprinting back towards the woods, unable to hear or sense anything around him. He didn't stop for a second, running relentlessly through the woods. Suddenly, his foot caught on something, and he tumbled down a small hill. His eyes were about to close when he saw a dark figure slowly approaching him. The next moment, everything went dark.
If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure to hit the bell icon for notifications. We'll be back soon with the next exciting episode. Stay tuned.